everyone, my name is Yaron. I am the CEO and founder of Elixie. We are a biotech company developing advanced cannabinoid-based products. My first encounter with cannabinoids, like for many others, was personal. Two of my parents could have benefits by including cannabinoids in their treatment protocol, but since they were ultra-conservative, the method of administration and the dosage form was out of a question. So this is the reason when I first encountered Sativex, a medicinal cannabinoid-based product, the first thing I done was to buy GW pharmaceutical stocks, and the second was to start to educate myself and invest in that area. In 2019, 5 years ago, I established Elixie because there are a couple of challenges in there, the potential of wider expansion of cannabinoids treatment. One of them, the one that we chose to focus on, is products, more specifically drug delivery technology. And this is what I'm going to present you with, and the technologies that we offer to overcome that challenge. So a few essential scientific and industry milestones that are the foundation of cannabinoid-based treatment. The first one is in 1964 when Professor Meshulam isolated the THC, the psychoactive component of cannabinoids that I assume that you're aware of. And the second will be 21 years later when AbbVie granted the marketing approval for the first cannabinoid medicine, Marinol. Who knows what is the generic name of Marinol? Dronabinol. So it was for the treatment in chemotherapy-induced vomiting and nausea. Later on in 1992, it also approved for anorexia and appetite loss with patients that suffers from AIDS. The last one before we are jumping to the 21st century is the discovery of the endocannabinoid system. The same good old Professor Meshulam discovered the endocannabinoid system, which was the foundation for the understanding or the way to begin to understand the mechanism that the endocannabinoid or phytocannabinoid work on and in our body. So in 1998, the UK-based Pioneer pharmaceutical company granted the license to execute R&D on plant source cannabinoid, and later on developed the first, the second, and currently the only two plant-sourced pharmaceuticals in the market. First is Sativex, an oral spray for the treatment of spasticity related to MS, and in other territories it also prescribed for other indications, like in Germany for cancer-related pain and for other indications as well. The second, Epidiolex, it's the first FDA-approved plant-source cannabinoid medicine, an anticonvulsant medication approved for rare forms of epilepsy. The API is strictly a purified CBD. So currently, the status, and this slide is only about registered product. So the approval for registered cannabinoid-based drugs is in 30 plus countries. And in 2022, the overall sales surpass $1 billion, where 80% of it, it's Epidiolex. 80%, so around in 2022, it's around $800 million in sales of Epidiolex, a 10% CBD solution. This is what it is. But when you have the reimbursement and you can charge $40,000 a year per patient, so if you have 20,000 patients, you are in 800 million revenue in a year. This situation is going to be changed for them next year when Epidiolex exclusivity will expire. And the growth expected to be unparalleled because there are a lot of projects currently developing medications based on cannabinoids for numerous of indications from chronic pain, sleep, IBS, and so on. And the market, the registered product market, expected to reach to be over $50 million in 2030. So, how patients consume medications? People consume medications via oral administration. It's convenient, it's safe, it's cost efficient. Approximately more than 80% of medications and therapeutics are for oral administration. And this shouldn't surprise us. If we will check the medication cabinet in our house or office, we will see that most of them are for oral administration. So accordingly, all the approved cannabinoid-based medicines are for oral administration. I prepared that slide if someone might say that Sativex is not an oral spray, but oromucosal spray. Oromucosal means that it absorbed via the buccal mucus to the blood veins, from there to the blood system in order to bypass the GI. So it is true that it identifies as oromucosal, but practically speaking, it's oral. The solution is swallowed and going through the GI. And to the right, you can see the paper published in 2012 by two brilliant professors that later developed the technology that overcome that challenge. So in 2012, when I ran to buy GW pharmaceutical stocks, they saw the Sativex and see the challenge and ran to the lab in order to develop the technology. We come together 7 years later, join forces, science and business, in order to generate the next generation of cannabinoid-based medicines. So what is the challenge? Cannabinoids via oral administration absorbed poorly because of their chemical structure and poor water solubility. They are affected immensely by what's called first pass effect. This results in a very slow onset, 45 to 90 minutes, which make it suboptimal for a lot of medical indications. Low bioavailability means only a small portion of what the patients are swallowing actually reach the blood system and becoming bioavailable. And maybe the most concerning, especially when you are consuming THC, it's the inconsistent absorption that leads to unpredictable effect. In our experience, this is the #1 reason for patients to stop consuming cannabis oil, because the unpredictable effect, it starts to affect, they get panic, they don't want to try it anymore. And of course, because of the inconsistent absorption, it is very difficult, to say the least, for clinicians to set up a treatment protocol. So there are some ways to overcome that challenge, but the most established one is nanoencapsulation. So nanoencapsulation increases the solubility of water-insoluble ingredients like cannabinoids. It increases the surface area and create the spheres that protect the cannabinoids from the enzymes. And therefore, it yields a rapid onset of 5 to 15 minutes. 5 minutes will be, our solution product will be more 5 minutes effect, and our capsule will be 15, because you are adding approximately 5 to 10 minutes of the shell of the capsule itself need to be dissolved. Anyway, 5 to 15 minutes is a rapid onset. The definition of the FDA for instant effect is up to 15 minutes. So we can say that that technology results in an instant or fast-acting oral products. high bioavailability, so less will satisfy the same need as large doses. It can be a benefit for a few reasons. One of them is if you consume less, it leads to fewer side effects. Second, and it's more a commercial perspective of it, because in the BOM, in the bill of materials of any product, the most significant cost is the API, the crude extract itself. So if your crude extract is more bioavailable, so it's worth more. It means that you can reduce the monthly cost per patient, but still have the margins large, because you can price your product higher and still it meets this gap. And the consistent absorption that lead to a predictable effect. In that case, it's inter and intra-patient consistent. And with our technology, one of the great things that we found that even before and after food consumption, we can reduce the variance to minimal. So all the claims that I just mentioned, it's not in vitro, ex vivo, animal model, or anecdotal data. I'm talking about clinical data, about safety and pharmacokinetics, clinical studies that support our technology. And you can see, for example, this is from a study we executed comparing our product with Sativex, our product in a soft gel version with the Sativex oral spray. You can see our product in purple. The peak is faster and higher significantly. And the overall AUC stands for it's the area under the curve, it's the bioavailability. So it yields the improvement of 50% to 120%. So how can we make nanoencapsulation? Basically, there are two ways to do it. One is the high energy nanoencapsulation and low energy nanoencapsulation. The high energy nanoencapsulation method uses high mechanical energy that provides strong disruptive forces. These forces break up large droplets into nanosized droplets and produce nanoemulsion with high kinetic energy. We don't use it currently because of the high cost involved in the machinery and the space it requires in the setting of the GMP manufacturing facility. What we chose is the low energy nanoencapsulation method called SNEDS. SNEDS, initials for self, nanoemulsified drug delivery system, where the key word is self. So it does not require any machinery. So SNEDS is an isotropic mixture of oil, surfactants, co-solvents, co-surfactants, and other ingredients. When it comes in contact with water, it spontaneously encapsulates the cannabinoids in the spheres. So nothing needs to be done except to meet that composition with water. It can happen in a glass of water or in the aqueous environment in the GI. The beauty of it that you can, with no cost of infrastructure, you can manufacture that formulation. Means any manufacturer that have the infrastructure to manufacture cannabis oil can manufacture that product. So you can take the oil. When one of the issues in the cannabis industry is around patent protection, you don't have a patent protection. So you can take your crude extract, mix it with nanolix, and actually what you have, it's a patent protected, clinically proven product. So a few parameters, because not all nanoencapsulation born equal. So a few parameters that will help you to understand whether it's a good technology or a mediocre technology. One of them is the average particle size. As it may sound, as smaller, as better. So the literature standardized below 100 nanometer per particle. We make it a little bit smaller. We raise the challenge here and keep it below 50 nanometer per size. The time is coming short, so I will run through the last slides. Another parameter is the particle size distribution. You want a narrow curve around the average size in order to be optimal and consistent. Stability. Stability is the most challenging issue around nanoencapsulation. There are a lot of mediocre products because nobody really knows how to figure out if it's good or not. One of the issues is stability. So on top of all the aspects of stability that you need to have, potency, microbiology, water content, and everything that your monograph included, now we are adding the physical component of size and average PDI. One tip, if someone offers you nanoemulsion in a liquid form and claim that you have 12 months stability, ask him if he means to physical stability as well. Most of the ones that I encountered didn't even check it. So it's kind of almost impossible to do it. So either he didn't check it, or he's not honest, or you should invest in his company because he did something great. So this nanolix, or the nanoencapsulation, is the base for the first line of products that we developed, the solution, emulsion, and soft gel capsule. But with further development, it can be used in powder form to suspension, tablets, flash tablets, and even gummies. Yeah. So one last thing before I finish, because I started in registered products, and now we are talking about medical cannabis. We see the opportunity, there is a very unique opportunity here, where the regulatory allows prescribing cannabis, even though it didn't went through all the registered process. People are ready to consume it and try it in their treatment protocol, and you have the supply. So our plan is to soft launch and execute prospective observational study to validate not only the pharmacokinetics, but also the efficacy of our product. Since we are an IP-based company, first market that we will launch is in the UK and Australia, but potentially we can launch everywhere next year because we are an IP-focused company. By collaborating with local manufacturers, we can manufacture in your market for your market. So we are open for collaboration opportunities. Thank you very much.
Thank you.